Behind home plate, we bringing it to them all day. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, Next Generation of Baltimore Sports Talk. I am your Indian Singer host, Matt Soroka. As always, I'm joined by the button lover, Josh Soroka. Hey, Josh, it's been a while.
It has been. We've taken about a week and a half off, I think.
Yeah.
I did a bunch
I know,
of
I think it's been 2
traveling.
weeks.
Yeah, I did a bunch of traveling and then came back with like a cold or something. So that delayed us as well.
Yeah, I mean, because I remember this is like pre-Halloween. I didn't even get to ask you at what age do we stop trick-or-treating? Hot topic the day. But no, you went traveling.
Yeah, I went out to the last minute decision to go to the Grand Canyon and Utah.
Have you been to the Grand Canyon before?
I had not.
Is it really as big as they say?
Yeah, you haven't been?
No, I've been.
All right. We went for sunrise at the Grand Canyon, and what we didn't know is that because we didn't do any research, we just said, well, I got to go to Vegas for work. Let's go out there early. And what we did not plan on was that there was going to be snow at the Grand Canyon for sunrise.
Oh, really?
So I did not take warm clothes. I took Florida clothes to the Grand Canyon. So a little chilly.
Yeah. I ran into a similar issue one time going to Denver. And you would think Denver, it's cold, but it was during the summer. So I thought it was warm. But then we went on a hike up a mountain. And by the time we got to the top of the mountain, it was snow.
All right. Well, except that's Denver. I would assume Denver's cold.
But even in the summer?
Yeah.
All right.
I would assume. I don't know. Have you ever seen a picture of the Grand Canyon when it looks like it's cold? No, the sun's out. It's shiny.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's true. You think Arizona, you think hot, you think.
Right. And then I did look at Vegas weather because I knew I'd be there. And I knew that was going to be in like the 60s, 70s, a little chilly.
Yeah, no, it gets chilly.
Right. So I was prepared for that. But then I wasn't prepared for the Grand Canyon and Utah being up in the mountains where it would be a little bit chillier.
Yeah.
So like ice, I had ice on the windshields and all like that.
Yeah.
But still a good trip. And then we had the big Michael.
Yeah, how was the Vegas show? Did that go off successfully?
You know how when you go to let's say opening day and there's crowds of people and someone finds you?
Yes.
All right. Take that and then take it every time I stepped out of my hotel room.
Oh yeah, because how many people were there?
Like 150.
150 who all are avid listeners of this show that you're now part of.
And all staying at the same hotel, hanging out in the same bar, hanging out in the same casino. So it was really cool. It was,
and the nature of the Michael Mara show. We do this a little bit, but the whole podcast is really just what's going on in your guys' lives. Yeah. So listeners are all up in your business,
right? And you and I have gotten used to that a little bit because
about little league stuff, a little bit, yeah.
But then I took Kelly with me, and for her it was completely overwhelming. Because suddenly 150 people all know about her life and know that she was at the Grand Canyon and in Utah, and it was colder than expected. And because every day we talk about our lives.
Yeah, so, no, that's cool that Kelly went. I don't know if Emily would join me in that same situation. That's cool.
It was fun. It was a good time. Oh, and listeners, a bunch of listeners made like bracelet things, like the Taylor Swift bracelets. And I got one that was handed to me that's black and orange and says Section 336.
Oh, nice. Love that.
So
I don't. Is the Taylor Swift? That doesn't mean anything to me. Is that a thing? People making bracelets?
These friendship bracelets are like a Taylor Swift thing.
Friendship bracelets were cool when I was in middle school. Yeah.
But the Section 336 one was cool.
No, that is cool. Shout out to that listener. I assume.
Good time. Horrible hotel. We'll never go back to that hotel again. Imagine Matt doing a live show. and doing it in the evening, and you're running around like crazy to get the show done. You do a 90-minute show, and now you have a little bit of time to go and change your clothes because you're all sweaty and stuff from the show before you have to go down to like the bar and casino and hang out with people
And mingle,
in the
yeah,
show
yeah,
and
sure.
mingle.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you run back to your room. What's the first thing you want to do?
After 9 minute show, run back to your room. You probably hop in, take a quick shower.
Quick shower.
I'd probably watch some TV, and then 5 hours go by, and then
All
I
right.
forget about going downstairs.
How about if you go into your bathroom to take your shower and the shower floor is covered with sewage? Came up from the drain pipe while you were out doing the show.
That's not good.
Nope. Pulled that bathroom door shut and went downstairs and got out of there.
No, that sounds like a nightmare. And I'm guessing you weren't the only person with hotel room issues.
No, everybody had hotel room issues.
Yeah.
How about when you do a live show and you ask for 150 chairs and they set up 46 chairs instead?
Well, that stuff doesn't surprise me at all. And I bet there's a whole host of issues. I mean, I know even back in the day, we did a few live shows.
Right.
And even us, where we didn't require anything, I feel like there was always minor stuff that was annoying. And so,
well, for us, we did the tour of Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yes.
Where we had a deal with Buffalo Wild Wings where once a month, I believe it was, we had to show up at a different Buffalo Wild Wings and do the show.
Yeah. Traveling all across Maryland, hit the Buffalo Wild Wings.
Right. And host a Thursday night football party.
Yes.
Like we were giving away prizes during every commercial break and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The problem that we always ran into is that nobody told the manager.
Right. Who are these guys? Why are they here?
Exactly.
Oh, now we need to run around and set something up for them. Yeah.
Correct. So we'd show up, and I don't even remember. We might have even had to bring the sound system with us to do it. I don't remember.
Yeah, no, we did. We did.
Did we?
Yeah.
We had to bring the speakers and everything?
I remember hauling those things in. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then we'd show up, and they'd be like, they'd not really know what we're doing. If they knew at all.
And this Vegas trip you guys been planning for months.
Months.
Yeah. So,
but either way, great time with the listeners. Really fun weekend. I have a cold from it, and I'm just getting back into the East Coast flow now.
All right. You stay up late, do some gambling?
I did some gambling.
Yeah. Some blackjack?
Some blackjack. Yes. I lost $100, which I didn't think was too bad for 5 days in Vegas.
Okay.
I sat down at the blackjack table I spent a bunch of time at the blackjack table with other listeners, and I had one person sit down with me who reminded me of you.
Oh, stressed out about the whole experience.
Stressed out at the whole experience of
where is the nickel blackjack table? I almost said
they
that
had
table.
dollar blackjack.
Yeah. A dollar black. See, I get down with some dollar blackjack.
Yeah, and most of what I played was $5 blackjack because that was like
too
a
rich for my
dedicated show table. But they definitely had dollar blackjack, which is your style.
Yeah, that's my style. You know, come November 1st, I don't know what you do in your household. You probably put up a tree November 1st. You're probably one of those.
No. No. I put my tree up. I pulled it out of the attic today.
Okay, but are you stepping up your game this year with lights? I know you always do some fun light stuff.
No.
You keeping it simple?
Keeping it simple. I bought a fake tree after Christmas last year that has all the lights already on it to try to make things a little easier.
Yeah. That's
I
tacky,
pulled it.
but okay.
No, I think it's gonna look good. I pulled it out of the attic today and put it together. I just gotta brush out, like fluff it out.
Yeah, look good in your. I bet that's what everyone has in your prefab neighborhood. They all have their fake trees in the fake neighborhood.
You know why I have a fake tree? Because
why?
last year I bought a real tree. And the price of a real tree right now was ridiculous last year. I can't imagine what it is this year.
Yeah, that's we went to. I think we have a fake tree now, and that was my logic too. Is it's not just the cost of a tree; you got to buy it every year. This is a recurring cost that is up there for 3 weeks.
And it used to be $50.
Yeah,
and now it's like $125.
Yeah, we should have gotten the tree business. We're in the wrong business, Josh. We should have went into the tree business instead of the podcast business.
I guarantee the tree business would make more than this podcast.
The tree business is doing well. No, but the first thing we do in our household is Emily goes to the store, and I guess it's a seasonal thing. This Sprite winter spiced cranberry.
Okay, I haven't seen that yet. I think 7-Up has like a Shirley Temple or something out now.
Okay, it's the same idea. So in our house, come November, December, our house is stocked with these for these 2 months of the year. So that's what
Okay.
I'm drinking tonight.
So that's your traditional Christmas drink?
Yeah, that's our version of the Wassel right there. But we got some baseball to talk. Well, not really.
Not much. We don't
Not
have
much.
baseball, but it is the baseball off season.
The off season's here. I mean, I don't even talk. I think we talked. Was the World Series still happening last
No.
time we talked? That was done.
Yes. Yeah, well, no, we haven't talked since the World Series ended.
Okay.
Our
Feeling
last,
blessed that the Yankees lost.
yeah, Yankees lost.
Yeah.
Thankfully, LA tried to burn the city down.
Yeah.
Um,
LA.
the
They're
Orioles-
saying LA will sign every free agent now.
Exactly. Every free agent that I'm seeing as a prediction, they say LA.
Yeah, it's either LA or the Mets
Yep, LA, Mets, or Yankees.
or Yankees. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it
because
should
why
be an
not let
interesting offseason.
right? Why not let the big market teams continue to be the big market teams? Why not take the top 3 payrolls in baseball and just predict that everyone will sign record contracts with them?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, Josh, what the Dodgers are doing is from everything I've heard, the Dodgers are not losing money. They're like rolling in the money after already signing all these contracts. And so you just think about the way things are set up. There's no reason that the Mets and the Yankees and the Dodgers won't continue to spend more and more money. And the mid to low market teams, there's no way they can keep pace. So I think it's going to be interesting for agencies to see. We've already talked about it from the Orioles standpoint, new ownership. What will the Orioles do? Just from a baseball, it seems like more and more. I know it was always true, but it seems like it's even more true that there's just a select number of teams for the big free agents and no one else.
Yeah, yes, but I guess the Orioles, we haven't really been able to see yet whether or not the Orioles are actually going to spend money. We've had lots of projections. We've got our own thoughts. We've got an ownership saying that, yeah, he wants to win. We've got Elias saying, yeah, I've got approval to spend money. But none of us really know what that means. So hopefully it means that the Orioles are one of those guys that can talk to these free agents. But it's going to always be, no matter how much money the Orioles spend, it's always going to be tough to compete with the Yankees, the Dodgers, and the Mets.
No, it's true. It's true. That's the world we live in. But hopefully we can compete a little bit more now with this new ownership. But we'll wait and see. There is some Orioles news we need to get to.
All right.
So the Orioles announced like this was the beginning of the offseason. You exercise your options. Some players have options built into their contracts. Club options are good things. Player options are always
right.
But seem to have a good amount of club options. So we had a club option for Anthony Dominguez.
Good.
And we picked up that option.
Good. I think that's worth it. I like him in my pen.
Yeah, and I like him even better when he's not your closer. And next year he's not going to be the closer. Presumably, fingers crossed, Felix Bautista will be back to form. Right. He will be our closer, and Sir Anthony Dominguez can be maybe our 7th, 6th inning guy.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8 is looking good with Dominguez, Cano, Bautista.
Yeah, I feel good about those 3 guys in the pen. They also exercised the option of Sinal Perez. He had a bit of an up and down year, I feel like.
That's up and down. He's cheap. I don't mind that because if he gets it together again, he is excellent in that pen.
Yeah, it's hard to deny the stuff. He's a lefty. He can throw the ball so freaking hard. And yeah, when he's on, he's really good. And I think this year he's making $2 million. So
right.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty good deal.
All right. Now the last option you're going to have to convince me of. And I know I'm a Ryan O'Hearn hater. But how does Ryan O'Hearn fit onto this team next year?
I mean, he's the lefty. He's your platoon bat, right? He's a lefty batter. He had a good year. He's not expensive.
So it's a cheap bench player, is what you're saying?
Not bench player, platoon player.
Platoon where?
First base and DH with Ryan Mountcastle.
Okay, so you see our first base setup as still a Ryan and Ryan platoon.
Yes, I think it's possible that Ryan gets traded, and then it's a Ryan.
Which one? Which one?
Mountcastle.
Not gonna just throw Ryan out there.
Mountcastle, and then it's
Okay.
Ryan Kobe platoon situation.
All right. Now Mountcastle had a down year.
Right, he had a down year, and partly because he falls victim to that wall a lot, I think. So, but he's still, I think, is good enough to be either platoon or everyday first baseman in the majors. He's good defensively, and maybe I don't know, his ceiling is maybe 28, maybe 30 home runs would be a ceiling of Ryan Mountcastle. Maybe batting 250 and 260. That's what you're looking at with the Ryan Mountcastle. So if you think you can do better than that with a Kobe Mayo, that's fine.
And I guess that's the difference is Kobe Mayo's a righty. So you can't platoon him with Mountcastle.
Right.
Okay.
So, if you look at just and a little bit better kind of career average than I thought, 265. So even last year, the power numbers I know weren't there, but he still ended up batting 271. He doesn't get on base as much as you would like, at just the 308 mark and career 316 on base percentage. So Ryan Mountcastle, he's a good player. His career high is 33 home runs. I think that was pre-Wall being moved back. So he's certainly like a good player. He can get to 20 home runs. He can hit 270.
Are you prepared to replace Ryan Mountcastle with Kobe Mayo, a guy that got 4 hits?
Yeah, that's what you don't know. Like, if you asked me last year before he debuted in the majors, I would say, yeah. I would also say Jackson Holliday is going to be one of the best players in baseball.
Right,
didn't work out for Jackson Holliday, didn't work out for Kobe Mayo.
Yep.
So it's like, how much faith do you put in guys? That's the thing, right? When you have Ryan Mountcastle, you have a track record there that even if he struggles, he's still going to be a competent major league batter. His worst year of his career, he batted 250, which is not terrible. So even a bad year for Ryan Mountcastle is okay. Where Kobe Mayo, you just don't know. Like, he could be terrible. He could not be ready yet for the majors, and so certainly there is more risk involved if you decide to roll with Kobe Mayo. But if you keep Ryan Mountcastle, it's hard. You just do the math. It's hard to figure out where Kobe Mayo is going to get the playing time, assuming Mountcastle is here and is healthy.
Yeah. And I guess that's unless you try to move Mayo to a different position.
Right. Like Mayo can play corner outfield, maybe. He's played third, obviously, a lot in the minors. So he could play third base. But again, third base seems to is going to be Jordan Westberg's position. So
right. Is it too late for Mayo to start in Norfolk?
No. I think he starts in Norfolk.
Yeah, okay, you think he does?
I'd be surprised if he doesn't start in Norfolk.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, because he's young enough and he just had a cup of coffee last year. I think you could argue, like, yeah, no, we want to start you. He might be kind of similar to what Heston was last year. Kind of that. Like, we know you're probably ready to be in the major all the time, but we don't have a real spot for you. So we're going to kind of yo-yo you a little bit as you kind of figured out. Could be that situation with Kobe Mayo. I think that's what it will be if they don't do anything about it. So,
all right.
I don't know. But then, like, you saw what happened last year at the end of the season, Josh. We were playing, random dudes at third base. So, like, so maybe you just want to have that depth there, and maybe you want to roll with all these guys. We also don't know what's going to happen with the Santander.
Yeah, well, before we get there, we did decline. We did decline one club option.
Yes,
for Danny.
Well, you're talking about Eloy Jimenez. Yes, we declined his option.
Well, we also declined Columns, right?
Yes, Danny Coulomb. We declined his option, and that I think was by far the most surprising.
Yes. Yeah, because I haven't pulled up his stats, but they seemed fine. He seemed like one of these fine guys. Like
Well, more than
nothing.
fine, Josh. Look at his stats. His ERA in 2023 before the injury, or 2023 when he had a fully healthy season, ERA of 2.81 through 51 innings.
Right.
Had
And
58 strikeouts. That's pretty good.
last year he threw 212.
Yeah, 212 earned run average, 29 innings because he had the injury,
Right.
and then 32 strikeouts, some more strikeouts innings pitched. Now, a couple things against him. He had that injury, so maybe they feel like, they don't know if he's fully recovered, if they feel like maybe there's some lingering stuff there. Also, the age thing, I think, is a factor. He's
older.
he's 34, I think. So, the 34-year-old who had some injury last year. It's just I'm still surprised because he has been one of the best bullpen arms, one of the most reliable bullpen arms. So it is surprising.
Yeah. Um. And did we know what that option was that he turned down?
How much it was? I think it was $4 million.
See, that doesn't seem like anything when you took up Dominguez's $8 million and Perez's $2.2 million. Like Colomb in the middle at 4 sounds about right.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like, with especially, I mean, we talked before about new ownership and all that stuff. Like, it was $4 million, and so it's not I don't think it's a money issue. Maybe it's flexibility in the bullpen issue. Maybe they have their, their eyes on some free agent bullpen pieces, and they just don't think there's going to be enough room for Danny Coulomb. I don't know. It's weird that it was just over $4 million. Yeah, that was the weird part.
Is it one? Yeah, I don't know. I was going to say maybe they can sign him for less if they want to keep him around.
I can't imagine. I mean, I would assume he's going to get a contract for more than $4 million.
Yeah. All right, so that leads then the qualifying offers for Burns and Santander, which clearly they won't take those, but that's part of the game where you get a draft pick or something, right?
Yes, it means that if another team signs that player, you get an extra draft pick, and the team who signs them loses a draft pick.
Okay.
Now, have they been offered yet? What's the timeline here? Have they been offered qualifying offers?
Yeah, on the 4th, they were offered qualifying offers.
Okay.
I don't know when they expire.
Yeah, so that's a 1-year qualifying offer based on kind of the salary and the position that you play. And they have a certain days to accept or decline. Most players decline. We presume both of them will decline because it's just a 1-year deal, and both those, Santander and Corbin Burns, we assume will be looking for huge multi-year deals. This is they're at that age where this is a big contract year.
What do you think? At this point, do you see either of them coming back?
I mean, Corbin Burns is going to cost more.
Yes.
And he's a pitcher.
Right.
It was interesting. He didn't
finish
top 3 for Cy Young.
He's going to cost more because you want him more. If I told you to pick one of these guys, you're taking Burns.
Right. Because he's the better player. He's a more important player, more important position. He can be that ace. He struggled some last year. People talk about the velocity being down last year. Obviously he's not getting younger. It's hard though, because we've also seen pitchers who've aged really well and pitched well into their upper 30s and pitched effectively into their upper 30s. So I think it's a mistake to just write him off. But we also know for the Orioles, like, we've done some bad contracts before, and it makes you nervous giving a big deal to a pitcher who has some declining metrics.
Well, and yeah, MLB Trade Rumors is projecting 7 years, $200 million for Corbin Burns. So that would be the most the Orioles have ever paid for a pitcher.
Yeah, unprecedented. Yeah, not even close. Who's the biggest contract for a pitcher right now? Is it Alex Cobb or Ubaldo Jimenez? Like,
I think it would be Alex Cobb.
Starting pitching contract we've given out, because we haven't given out very many starting pitching contracts. So yeah, that would be a new ownership thing, right? I don't think Santander or Burns would even be a discussion under Angelos. Like it's
Well,
not even worth mentioning.
and to put it in context, I just said 7 years, $200 million for Burns. The
Yeah.
biggest contract the Orioles have ever given up
With the Chris
was
Davis.
Chris Davis, 7 years, $161 million.
Yeah.
And then Adam Jones was 6 years, $85 million.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Yeah, compared to
Right.
yeah.
So I haven't found what Alex Cobb was.
All right.
Alex Cobb gave him 4 years, $57 million.
Yeah, which I feel like is
So-
nothing now in
That is nothing in today's standards.
for a starting pitcher, even if he
Right.
wasn't great. So
So I don't like I read all that and I don't know how to take that as an Oriole fan, because I look at those numbers and be like, well, 200 million, yeah, we're not giving that up. But I don't know, because we've new ownership that we've never gotten to experience this ownership yet.
yeah, I mean, we're going to find out, right? And so I don't know. Like I would say at this point, it's not likely. If you look at all the rumors, it seems like Orioles names, like we talked about before, it seems like the it's always maybe the Red Sox, and then the Yankees,
Sox-
Mets, Dodgers.
Red Sox and Mets are predictions for Corbin Burns on this website.
Yeah, and it makes sense too, right? Like I think we can still have ownership spend money and not do it on Santander and
Yes.
Burns. And it seems like Mike Elias, if you're trying to, and I think Mike Elias prides himself in kind of getting the most bang for his buck, right? And finding good deals and finding good values. It might be smarter, right, to go with Blake Snell or Max Fried, or to go with a second tier guy that you can maybe get on a shorter term deal, as opposed to putting all your eggs. Like you can get two starting pitchers for the price of one starting pitcher and hope you can.
Or looking at your two options, Santander projected for 4 years, $80 million. That kind of sounds reasonable. So you're like, well, maybe
it's doable. Yeah.
I can right. You can make that deal. That's
no problem. $20 million a year.
That's not too much more with inflation and everything. That's about what Adam Jones got.
Yeah. For Rubenstein, he finds that in his car seat cushions.
He just paid more than that for the Pandas in DC, so he'd be all right. But I don't know. Again, if you have that depth with Kerstead, then you're not even worried about Santander. And pitching, I think I look at this season and see the impact that Corbin Burns made in this rotation and be like, we need a guy like that.
Yeah.
But we did make the trade. Who's the pitcher we got at the trade deadline?
Zach Eflin.
We got Zach Eflin, who, if you signed Zach Eflin during the offseason last year, I would have been really excited about Zach Eflin joining this rotation.
Yeah. Yeah, there is that possibility, Josh, that Garrett Crochet, everyone says he's gonna be traded. He would be that number one guy that would replace Corbin Burns if you get Garrett Crochet. I don't know who's left in the minors that we can now trade, though. I mean, the immediate return and listen, we have to wait and see what DL Hall and Joey Ortiz do. But just based on last year, I still feel pretty good about that trade for Corbin Burns, even if it didn't work out exactly how we wanted it to. Still feel good about that trade.
No, it was a good move.
And so I think we also could explore, and I'm sure the Orioles will explore, a possible trade for a guy like Garrett Crochet and what that could look like. Or maybe that's how we get a number one guy. But certainly, like, we need one or two. We need one top rotation starter, it feels like, a one or two, and then probably another guy, because there's just a lot of uncertainty in terms of injuries. Grayson Rodriguez, is he injury prone? What's the deal with his, shoulder, lat, whatever? You have Kyle Bradish coming back, Tyler Wells coming back. All these guys come back for injury. There's always, even if they come back, there's always some uncertainty. I mean, we saw what happened to John Means this past year. Came back for a start and they got hurt again. So you need more guys.
Right. Here's MLB.com's wish list for the Orioles free agency. Number 1, acquire an ace for the top of the starting rotation. And that's what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
That's a clear number one. Number two, add right-handed bats to the outfield mix. Do you see that as important?
Well,
Do we
right
need
now the
right-handed
right-handed
bats?
bat is Austin
Mountcastle.
Slater.
Oh, in the outfield, it's
Yeah,
Slater. Yeah.
is Austin Slater.
Because
Because we are left-handed heavy, and if Santander leaves, that's another. I mean, he's a
Right.
switch hitter.
Right.
That's another kind of guy against lefties who would bat right-handed that we lose. And so, yeah, there is a lack of right-handed hitting batters. And we mentioned Kerstead; he's a lefty. There's no one.
There's no depth
Unless you move Kobe Mayo, right? That could be a possibility to corner outfielder position.
Right.
That could help.
But
I don't know how effective he'll be in a corner outfielder
Right, but
position.
that's why
that could be your bat.
And that's why you're seeing some big bats names come up as the Orioles as options, because we need a right-handed bat.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not going to complain about adding if your outfield is running with Cowser and Kerstead back there with Mullins, and you want to argue that we should bring in a veteran right-handed at bat after we saw what happened last year. Yeah, like if there's a proven veteran right-handed hitting outfielder that we can trade for or sign in free agency, yeah, I think that makes sense. I wouldn't put that at number one for my wish list, but I think that makes sense. Certainly, we can do better than Austin Slater.
Yeah.
Is Ryan McKenna available?
Soto's right-handed, right? Orioles can really open up the checkbook.
No, he's lefty.
Is he a lefty?
Yeah.
I thought he was right-handed.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
I could be wrong as well. Let's see. Juan Soto.
All right. Well, I think that the bigger problem with Juan Soto, besides being a lefty, is he's going to make $600 million.
All right. Juan Soto is one of these annoying players. He says, baseball is the only thing I do as a lefty. I do everything else right-handed. I eat right-handed. I write right-handed. Then I work on, then to work on his son's hand-eye coordination, he made him do it left-handed. According to his dad.
Well, that's like my son is, I feel like, the worst in terms of playing baseball, because I feel like a best case scenario, and this is what you see a lot of players like Gunnar Henderson are like this.
Yeah.
Where bats left but throws right. I feel like that's kind of ideal.
That's ideal.
Yeah. But my son's the opposite. He bats right and throws left, which I feel like is the worst of both worlds, because
put him at first base.
Yeah, there's no position he can really play. He can play
unless you teach him to pitch.
Yeah. Well, he's not at the pitching age yet.
Right. So if he can pitch,
yeah,
you can use that left hand.
And Josh, we had our first travel ball tournament.
All right. How'd it go?
It was okay. The first game we got blown out. The second game we blew out the other team, and so we just went 1-1. But it was fun. It's a whole thing. It's a whole.
How far did you have to drive for this tournament?
40 minutes.
All right, that's not too bad.
No, and we were. I mean, the coach was clear. Like, there's the 7-year. We're trying to go to relatively local things. So this is the only tournament we did in the fall, and it was good. I mean, it's just so funny. Like, people, you can tell, and I love it. Like, I'm just sitting there. I'm in heaven, actually, because I'm sitting. It's just me and Silas. Silas playing baseball, and then when his game's off, he's off with his teammates running around doing whatever. I'm sitting there. I have my book. I have snacks. I'm surrounded by, people playing baseball, kids playing baseball. This is actually a really good deal for me. I enjoyed it. It is funny. People roll in with I have to get some things. I didn't realize that as a travel ball parent, there's some things I need. I need a wagon. Everyone has a wagon.
I have a wagon.
I need a little tent. Everyone's got the whatever you do it. The
little sun shield.
Yeah. And everyone's got a Yeti cooler. I went on Amazon. Look at those babies. People dropping $400 on coolers. Is that what we're doing now? Are we dropping $400 on coolers?
Perfectly fine.
Josh, do you have a Yeti cooler?
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't know, Josh. I don't know.
No, but I do know people who can't afford anything, yet they have a Yeti cooler. So I see plenty of Yeti coolers. I have a blue Coleman cooler that I've had for probably 15 years.
Yeah. No, I don't really understand why you can get a cooler for $20. Why? Anyway, but that's part of the culture. You got to have Yeti cooler. And I've been texting you back and forth about the hype bats. Everyone's got these hype fire bats.
Yeah, the fire bats and the Arctic Chill is the
Oh,
new one.
Um,
Do you have your Stanley Cup?
no, that's everyone has one of those too, though. The big old
I
Stanley Cups.
guarantee you have a Stanley Cup in your house.
Oh yeah, I think Emily has
Okay.
one.
Yeah, there we go.
I do not have one personally.
Me
I
either.
don't.
I do not either.
Not there's anything wrong with that. I'm not here to judge. But yeah,
No.
so it's a whole and like it's the parents are into it. It's a whole thing. So but again, it's baseball all day being played
Yeah,
at a relatively decent level at that age. So I was there for that. I
I'm
do have a
excited
problem with the coach like insists that Silas plays first base because the lefty and he's the
'cause of the
tallest kid on the
lefty.
team.
Yeah,
There's one problem though.
it stresses you out.
He can't catch, Josh. He's a
Oh.
first baseman who can't catch the ball. How are you going to play first base and not catch it?
I had that problem as well.
And it's like, Josh, you can tell, you know how you can tell sometimes with a pitcher in the first inning if they have it or if they don't have it. I'll throw with Silas warm-ups, and sometimes he catches every ball I throw to him. And some days we go outside, I don't understand it. Like he can't catch a single ball.
Do you ever tell the coach, maybe not today?
Well, I mentioned
nice.
to the coach. I went after him. He got pulled. He played first, then got pulled to the outfield. I don't know if it was because he didn't get much action, to be honest. So I don't know if it was performance based or if they was just trying to get new players at first. The new guy played really good first base, but then later Silas was put back at first. And I went to the coach after the game. I was like, "Coach, I appreciate you giving Silas a shot at first base, but it's important that a first baseman like catches the ball, right?"
Yeah.
And Silas needs to work on catching the ball. And Josh, the coach gave me like the Buck Showalter. No, Silas is my first baseman. I like him at first. He's the first baseman. I was like, yeah, but he can't coach. He can't catch, coach. He's the first baseman. Like I felt like it was talking to Buck Showalter and Chris Davis. Like he's
right. Well, learn under fire.
Yeah.
Did it motivate you to then start working on him with catching more?
Yeah, we've been practicing with it, and like we talked about it, and he knows he needs to practice catching. It's hard to like how do you tell a kid to catch the ball better? Like he does everything right, hits his glove, and then just pops out. How do you coach that? I don't know.
It's just hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, I think part of it too is he just needs to develop and get older.
Yep. And is the glove nice and loose?
Yeah, he can't squeeze it all the way completely shut.
That's on the dad. Dad's failing. You got to break that thing in.
Well, I feel like it's broken in, but I feel like it's a finger hand strength issue. Like when you close the glove, should the ball be able to be seen at all?
It's possible at that age that you could still see the glove.
Okay. When I close it, you don't see the ball, but my glove's bigger.
Right. Exactly. Your glove's bigger. When he takes his hand out of the glove and just throws it on the bench, is it open or closed?
Closed.
It flattens out by itself?
Yeah.
Okay,
now it's worked in.
Okay, then it's broken in.
And my travel ball coaches have been good to me because I'm trying to do this impossible thing, Josh, and I'm trying to do it. I really am. And if I can't do it,
to just be a parent and not coach,
I'll walk away. No, to like do travel ball, but not have it control my life and not have it control my finances, right? To do it cheap and to do it not.
Good luck with that.
All in. That's what I'm trying to do, this impossible thing. And coach has been great. Coach said he wants to play first, but his glove's too small. Coach found him a glove in the lost and found.
Good. Yeah, he probably needed a 7-inch.
Yeah. Coach said he needs this $400 hype bat. I said I'm not buying a $400 hype bat. He said it's fine. I'll find one. We'll borrow one. And so coach brings a special bat just for Silas because Silas uses a bigger bat than everybody else. So Silas has a special bat that the coach brings.
Silas will now use the coach's bat?
He will. Well, the coach had to give him a new bat because the bat that coach tried to give him at practice was another bat that another kid had, and it was lighter and shorter than the bat he uses.
Okay.
And so coach got him a bigger bat that he brings for him. So the coach is working with me here because I'm not doing it.
I like it. That means
so we'll
coach
see.
Wants to see Silas succeed, and then the coach wants to take all the credit.
Yeah, and that's fine. I like this travel ball coach a lot, which is saying something because I hate all the rec coaches.
Yeah.
I just go around, and Emily can't even watch baseball games with me because I just go around complaining about the coaches all the time. And I just can't help it. They just rub me the wrong way all of them. Like I know at that
would-
point the problem is me when everyone rubs me the wrong way. But I
Nope,
like the travel ball
as
coach.
a coach, I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I agree.
All right. Anyway, we got sidetracked. I don't remember what we're talking about. I got sidetracked with the whole travel ball thing.
Well, we talked about the Orioles offseason and some free agent options. Oh, we were talking about maybe a right-handed bat. The other thing that MLB.com
Oh yeah,
lists
South being
for
the worst
Orioles,
of both worlds. That's where we
right.
started. Okay, yeah.
They also list that the Orioles need to build catching depth behind Adley. Now, we've got Basallo. But is it time yet for Basallo next year? Or do we need
Again,
to
I've been
sign-
jaded now by the Kobe Mayo and Jackson Holiday. They ruined this whole thing for me. Because if you would have said if Jackson Holiday and Kobe Mayo were really good this year,
right.
I would have said, yeah, like next year's the year for Basallo. Let him. He's going to start at AAA. Let him
Right.
play at AAA, and then call him up when he's ready.
But if he's going to start at AAA, that means you need a veteran that's going to be behind Adley.
Right. And right now it's still McCann.
Is it still McCann? I think McCann's a free agent.
Oh, McCann's a free agent. So you have the option to. Yeah, you're right. McCann's a free agent. Austin Slater's a free agent. John Means is a free agent. So yeah, I guess we have to make a decision if we want to bring James McCann back, which I think we can cheaply.
Because we got McCann. Yeah, we got McCann really cheap though.
Yeah, but McCann's not. Nobody wants McCann.
Okay, so you think we could just get him for another year cheap?
Yeah, I think whoever we sign is going to be a year deal
because of Basallo.
Right.
Okay.
And so, I mean, I think there's a variety of guys you can go with. I think James McCann, if you like him, you mean you know him. I think there's other guys that are just like James McCann, a Jan Gomez, a Tucker Barnhart, Jacob Stallings, who would Elias Diaz, who would be kind of equivalent to what you're getting from James McCann. So it's just, I don't know. I don't know. Does Josh, the fact that especially the second half of the year, how bad Adley Rutschman was the second half of the year.
You mean when he gained all that weight?
And when he got the girlfriend?
Yeah.
And he spent a lot more time on TikTok. What
exactly?
Does that impact how you go about the backup catcher thing? Because maybe Adley Rutschman, is not.
No. Adley is way too young for that decision.
Well, you might want to play him less if he's less effective, like he was last year, second half. Maybe you play him less and play the backup more.
Maybe, but more importantly, you go to Adley this offseason and then you say, Adley, you're supposed to be the face of this franchise. You got to get in shape.
Well, he already lost that. It's Gunner now, so he's lost that.
Well, either way, it is Gunner now. But you got to get in shape. You got to be the guy that you wanted to be. The girl's going to leave you if you can't hit the ball.
Do you follow him on TikTok? Has he posted TikTok videos yet?
I don't know. I haven't looked at his TikTok.
All right.
But Basallo just turned 20 last month. So I don't think we're going to rush him up here.
Yeah. No, I mean, we can do the prediction game, but I'm thinking maybe if he plays well in the minors, maybe, August, September call up.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think 1 year McCann makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
McCann's older. He got his little service time. So I think he's not looking for that. He knows he's beyond that long-term contract.
Oh, he got the huge deal with the Mets. He doesn't need money.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I think 1 year to stay in Baltimore, I think he could do that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think the backup catcher, whomever it is, I don't think it's going to come down, whoever it is, I don't think it's going to come down to a money issue.
No.
It's going to come down to just who the Orioles want.
And I think he'd get more playing time here than in a lot of other places as the backup catcher.
Because Adley's so bad.
No, because we don't have a real DH. And I don't think we'll have a real DH next year either. We seem to like to use that DH slot as a platoon rest spot.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea, if we're going to bring Santander back, of Kerstead in that DH. And if we don't bring Santander back, it makes sense. It makes even more sense to get a big right-handed corner outfielder that you can also use in the DH spot.
Right. And then the last prediction or the last projection they've got for the Orioles is that the Orioles free agent list is to bolster our bullpen. And I think that's a tricky one because, yeah, we'll sign some bullpen arms because you do every year. But we instantly bolster our bullpen by guys coming back from being hurt. And our rotation at the same time. The fact that we get Batista and Wells and Bradish back in time for spring training and Grayson.
Was that true for all of them?
And spills into the bullpen.
I mean, Kyle Bradish isn't going to be back by spring training, is he?
Are you sure? I thought they were all on spring training projections.
No, I thought Kyle Bradish was like maybe All-Star break.
Oh, then maybe I misunderstood. I know they just reinstated him. I thought there was something I thought that they reinstated him off the injured list. So I thought that meant that would have him ready for spring training.
No, because Kyle Bradish it was like the summer, like June or July that he had the Tommy John. So that's a year thing.
Then why would he be reinstated off the 60-day? Do they do that at the end of the season every year?
There might be something where they're required to remove him in the 60 days.
Okay, because they reinstated him on the 4th. They reinstated Bradish, Batista, Mateo, and Wells.
Yeah. And hopefully, Batista was thrown at the end of last year.
Right. Batista's supposed to be good to go.
Yeah. And I don't know about Tyler Wells because he didn't have Tommy John surgery. But he did have, I don't remember what he had. Some kind of elbow surgery, though.
Yeah, elbow, yeah. Bradish and Wells were both elbow injuries.
Yeah. Means Bradish had the Tommy John. Means and Wells had the UCL surgery, which I think is a little bit different than Tommy John. Just a UCL repair. Anyway, I'm sure we'll hear more about that in spring training, how their recovery is going.
Yes.
So, but going back to the bullpen. So right now, assuming Batista is back for the start of the season, which I think is very possible, and Cano and Dominguez, and we mentioned Perez. Those are the 4 guys I talked about. We still have those guys from last year, 2 that were contributors like Jacob Webb. He's a good bullpen guy. Gregory Soto, I think a bit of a question mark with him, but he'll be back next year. Keegan Aiken had a good year last year. And so I just named kind of 7 guys who could very likely end up in your bullpen. And you also know how Mike Elias likes to find those other guys, right? That from other teams, just kind of pick up other guys. He does that every year. And some of them, right, like Coulomb and Jacob Webb, turn into be kind of effective players. So I don't know. I don't know if there's any bullpen arms. I don't know if that would be on my priority list, Josh. Bullpen arms. I feel pretty good about the bullpen with Batista coming back.
And I feel like if you focus on the rotation, some stuff spills into your bullpen.
Yeah, like maybe. Yeah. I mean, I'm curious to see what happens to Albert Suarez, who had a really good year last year. But again, he's an older guy. Maybe Suarez could be an effective bullpen arm next year.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah. So,
all right. So here's the injury returns: Batista, spring training; Grayson Rodriguez, spring training; Mateo, spring training; Tyler Wells, mid 2025. Okay, and I don't even see. Oh, here we go. Kyle Bradish, second half of 2025.
Yeah. So Wells and Bradish both. Yeah, not that halfway through.
Which is why you need even more starting pitching.
Yeah. We also and we didn't mention this because it just happened last week, but in the catcher department, we did claim Rene Pinto as off the Tampa Bay Rays, who is kind of a catcher, a veteran catcher.
Yeah, he is a catcher. He played 83 games.
Yeah,
and in 3 years with the Rays.
So
And
right now
batting.
we have 3 guys on our 40-man in the catcher position. We have Adley Rutschman, Renee Pinto, and Blake Hunt, who I believe we got from the Mike Bauman trade, if my memory serves me correctly. So we do have 3 options there currently in our 40-man at catcher outside of
Okay.
McCann.
Speaking about Matt Bauman, he also elected free agency over AAA. So he's now a free agent.
Okay. The other Orioles news before we kind of start wrapping things up.
Yep.
I don't think we talked about this. Orioles director of pitching Chris Holt. Remember Chris Holt? So Chris Holt came with Mike Elias.
Yes.
From Houston. He was like the minor league pitching coordinator.
Right.
And what he was brought here in 2019 is the minor league pitching coordinator for Mike Elias. He came from Houston with Mike Elias. He got promoted in 2020 to like director of pitching for like the whole organization. Then in 2021, he was promoted not just to be the director of pitching, but like also the pitching coach in 2021, and also the director of pitching. So like Chris Holt, when people talk about the Orioles development and how analytics and how we're changing and how, you know, how we're really good at this development thing, in the pitching side of it, it was all Chris Holt, Chris Holt, Chris Holt, Chris Holt. Chris Holt, it was announced, I guess 2 weeks ago maybe, that he was leaving the organization. Just like with the hitting coaches, there was no explanation given.
Right.
It just said that Chris Holt was leaving the organization. And then it was just announced today that he got a job as the Red Sox new bullpen coach.
Yep.
Which this is a little bit bizarre to me, Josh, because you had this guy come over in 2019 and just fly like a rocket in terms of promotions and kind of control and influence an organization.
Yeah. But now
and then all of a sudden he's gone, and then he shows up as a bullpen coach.
Yeah, in other words,
quite the demotion.
Right. In other words, none of that stuff worked, but you're a name that is known to many of the coaches in baseball, so you got a job.
Yeah, like I would assume if you said Chris Holt is leaving the organization, I would assume he would take either a promotion or an equal position at another. You know, people take a different pitching coach job, or maybe even a promotion. I don't know how you get promoted from what he was doing here, but so because it was unclear why he left. So now it makes me think, well, the Orioles, he was fired more than he left for another job.
Yes, because it is a demotion.
Yeah, it's a big demotion to bullpen coach.
Right, director of pitching to bullpen coach is a big yes.
Yeah. So that's just kind of interesting. The kind of the rise and fall of Chris Holt. It's interesting.
Right. Either they didn't see eye to eye with Chris Holt, or they looked at all the pitching injuries the Orioles have had, and someone's got to be the fall guy, and the director of pitching is the fall guy for not keeping the guys healthy.
Yeah, it's weird because I don't see it as an eye to eye issue, because if it is, it's a recent eye to eye issue, right?
No,
because he was brought here and then promoted and promoted, and so something happened this year that kind of changed that.
Which is
and maybe it was the
injury
injury stuff.
Injuries, because as director of pitching, you are overseeing the other coaches, the bullpen coaches, the training staff, and everyone to keep that pitching staff healthy.
Yeah. All right. Well,
but
yeah, so we have some coaching spots too.
We've got a lot of coaching openings.
Yeah.
Pretty much fire. I think we've let everyone go except for Hyde.
Yeah, we did bring in Cody Ash as the new hitting coach.
He's the new hitting coach, but where did he come from?
He came from the Orioles. He was the offensive strategy coach.
Okay, so it's just an in-house guy we moved over to hitting coach.
Yeah. And how about this?
And he was the hitting coach with the Phillies before.
He was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in 2021, he was a hitting coach with the Phillies.
Because he's only 34 years old.
Yeah, 21.
He was a former player for the Phillies.
He played for the Twins, Red Sox, Mets, Yankees, White Sox, and Phillies.
Okay.
He was a hitting coach for the Phillies. He then he then worked for 9 years with Elite Sports Nutrition, and since 2021, he has been with the Orioles. The Elite Sports Nutrition timeline doesn't match up because it overlaps with his playing time. So that consultant role is while he was a player.
Okay. And they
But it was
also
like,
brought in Tommy Joseph as, I guess, the co-hitting coach
okay, that's right.
because we
All
love to
right,
do that.
so right, so we have some hitting coaches. We don't have pitching coaches or a bench coach yet, right?
Right.
Which isn't looking good for Buck Britton. That they haven't announced it yet.
Right.
All right, last Orioles news is that Colton Cowser is a Rookie of the Year finalist, and Anthony Santander is a Silver Slugger. Is there any chance Colton Cowser wins Rookie of the Year?
Oh, I don't know who's. I mean, is it who's the competition here? Is that Yankees catcher and
Alex
Luis Hill?
Wells.
Is that who we're looking at here?
Yeah, it's the Yankees catcher Alex Wells
Yeah,
and the Yankee pitcher
Luis Hill. Yeah,
Lewis Hill. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think he has a shot, right? Good a shot as any.
I think he's got a legit shot.
Yeah.
I think it all depends on how the voting goes. I know my prediction would be Wells ends up getting it because they value catchers so much, especially baseball writers. But I mean,
I think because he's a Yankee.
yeah, and he's a Yankee. So, but I think I could see him getting some first place votes.
Yeah. Oh, and just a correction real quick before our listeners throw things at us. I mean, the Orioles still have the pitching coach Drew French from last year. So Chris Holt was kind of director of pitching, but Drew French was the pitching coach last year, and he has not been fired yet, or he has not left the organization yet. So anyway, just to
Right. And he just started as pitching coach last year.
yeah. I think he replaced Holt last year, and Holt was moved back to just his director of pitching role.
Right.
So, yeah, no, but I think Santander, yeah, you mentioned Santander, right? Silver Slugger.
Silver Slugger.
Yeah, that makes sense. 44 home runs. And Colton Cowser, yeah, I think as good a shot as anybody. It'd be fun to have back-to-back Rookie of the Years. That'd be fun.
Yep. And then as is Jackson Holiday won't be eligible next year?
Nope. So we'll have to put all our eggs in the Kobe Mayo basket.
All right. Well, 2 years was fun.
And yeah, I mean, it helps. It does help. I'm surprised. Like Colton Cowser is hurt by being, I feel like a corner outfielder, but he does benefit by being an everyday player almost the whole season.
Correct.
But I feel like shortstops and catchers and those kind of positions have an advantage.
They do.
Just because they're more valuable, and it shows in some of the stats. Corbin Burns not in the top 3 for Cy Young. That was disappointing.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. I think it's because he had that rough August.
Yeah, I mean, if you look in the stats, he's top 4 or 5. I think he's number 4 in ERA in the American League, number 3 in innings pitched. He's down in strikeouts. So if you love strikeouts, he was down in strikeouts this year. So I think he's still one of the best pitchers in the American League this year. Certainly top 5, but I guess not top 3. So I'm not upset about it. I'm a little bit surprised, but also I think he was right on that cusp.
Are you glad that Brandon Hyde is not in the running for manager of the year?
Yeah, I am actually.
Yeah, me too.
This is what the Oriole fans need to rub in our noses.
Exactly. No, I think AJ Hinch gets that for the Tigers.
Yeah, and well deserved.
Yep, I agree.
When are those awards announced?
Let's see. MLB award dates. Because MLB does this stupid thing where they they space them all out.
Yes, everything's spaced out.
All right, MVP to be announced on November 21st. Cy Young announced on the November 20th.
How come they don't just have one big television show
Exactly.
on MLB Network and do all this stuff?
Rookie of the Year on November 18th and Manager of the Year on November 19th.
Yeah.
They would be so much better if they did an SB style event with all the baseball players in attendance and announced these awards and came up with some more awards.
Yeah.
I would watch that. I don't watch the ESPYs. If it was put on by Major League Baseball, all about Major League Baseball, and they did like best catch of like fun things like best catch of the year,
Yeah.
or biggest home run of the year, like cool, like
Or also, I've been seeing like Pitching Ninja does like I saw like a best facial expression or something.
Exactly. If they got all these players into a theater to do a award ceremony and made it fun, like all these serious things, but then made some fun ones, I would tune in every year.
Yeah, I don't even think you need the players there. I guess you can have it. I think you can have a good television show where you show all the highlights and do it without the players. But
yeah, like a MLB like year in review.
Yeah,
and really, we have a whole TV station of MLB. It's shocking that they don't do a 30-minute year in review for each team.
Yeah,
where you can watch it. And don't get me started about Masson and what a waste of time that is.
Well, we got to show more poker, more cornhole tournaments.
Right.
Got to leave room for that program. All right. Yeah, I mean, the other thing about the baseball offseason is the free agency just like the Orioles could sign someone tomorrow, or they could wait till February. Like it's just it's such a long thing. It feels like more than other sports, the free agency kind of drags out. And happens kind of sporadically. So who knows next week if we'll have stuff to talk about. Maybe we can talk about Lamar Jackson some more next week. Do some Ravens talk next week. The winter meetings start soon though, right?
Yep. All MLB weekend is this week, which is some type of multi-day off-season event to honor baseball's best. I don't know. It's like an awards thing, like we were saying in Vegas, but they spread it out one day at a time.
Okay.
Then the baseball meetings are December 9th through 12th.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Spring training we're bringing the spring breakout games back again. That's good. March 16th and 7th and 13th through 16th. March 18th and 19th features the Tokyo series again.
Oh, fun. Good.
The LA Dodgers versus the Chicago Cubs.
Okay.
Do you know where the All-Star game is next year in July?
No.
Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, I did know that. Yeah. It's in my backyard. I did know that.
All right. Now, on next year, August 2nd, 2025, the Atlanta Braves will play the Cincinnati Reds. Do you know where they will be playing?
Is there another Field of Dreams scenario? I don't know.
It is, but it's not Field of Dreams.
Okay.
I do not think we've had a game here yet.
Okay.
The Bristol Motor Speedway. We are playing a baseball game at the Bristol Motor Speedway.
Get those racing fans into the game?
I assume it's to try to get Tennessee baseball fans. I don't know.
Tennessee.
In August, we've got the Little League Classic.
They're really trying. I mean, weren't the winter meetings? Are they there again? They were at Tennessee last year. They were in Nashville last year.
They're in Dallas this year.
Okay.
No, they are really. I am waiting. So I don't know how much you pay attention to the Tampa Bay Rays and the Hurricane.
With the stadium.
What
will they do with that stadium?
They cannot play there next year. I believe it is $55 million to have the roof fixed by 2025.
Which is insane because you're already planning on building a new stadium, right? So you don't want to put that money into it.
And they're supposed to move into a new stadium in 2027, 2028.
Yeah.
I am waiting for the announcement. Part of me says, well, there's all these spring training stadiums within 2 hours of Tampa. They can play their games there.
Hey, if Oakland can do it.
Right. Do you mean the Athletics? They are now officially the only team in baseball without a city name attached to them.
Is that true?
That is true.
Just the Athletics for now?
For this season, until they're ready to go to Vegas. But I'm waiting for the Rays are going to play in Nashville. Because
does Nashville have a baseball stadium?
Yeah, they've got the Nashville Sounds minor league.
That's true. They have minor league stadium,
and they've also got Vanderbilt there, and some other colleges that could probably house them.
Yeah.
So baseball has been flirting with Nashville for so long that why wouldn't you try either Nashville or Montreal for a year of the Rays?
Wow, there's a lot of reasons why, because I don't know if you can just take a team and put them in a different city. I don't know if that's how that works. But
I get the tricky part about that.
Yeah.
But you're stuck that you can't play in Tropicana.
You can't just turn that thing into an outdoor stadium?
That's what I thought. And then I felt like an idiot when it was explained to me that there's no drainage in there for rain.
Hmm.
So like when it rains, it's not supposed to get
You can't just
water
put
in
some
there.
tarps over the field.
No, it just turns into a big aquarium. It collects all the water. They got to pump the water off the field.
Hmm.
Where Camden Yards has like the big drainage vacuums that suck all the water out of the grass and everything.
All right, so put some drainage suckers in there.
I don't think it's that easy. It's a gym floor.
All right. Hey, well, at least I can say I've been to that Rays stadium because I don't know if anyone ever go into that Rays stadium.
I know. I'm disappointed I missed out on the Coliseum.
You never went to a game there?
No, have you?
Yes.
To the Oakland Coliseum?
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Yeah,
the
the
Rays
Coliseum.
stadium. Oh, the Coliseum. Yeah. No, I never went to the Coliseum.
Yeah, I've been to the Rays Stadium. That's a dump too.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Let's get back on our weekly schedule.
All right, sounds good to me. In the meantime, you can follow us on all your social media platforms. You can like us on Facebook and Instagram, and we're still on X. Josh, have you my follower count? I just looked at has gone down big time. A lot of people have left X. Have you noticed that? Yeah.
No, I have not noticed that.
Yeah, I lost a lot of followers, which I assume because I don't ever post on there. I assume they stopped following because they left the platform.
I don't know
that for a fact. I assume
I have 1,400 followers.
Okay.
That sounds a little. Or no. Sorry, I have 17.
Oh no, I meant the people I was following because I was following like 360 people, and now it's down to like 330.
Oh, okay. I've got like 1,700 people that follow me.
Okay.
I don't think that has changed. I don't know.
All right.
Maybe.
I bet that, but looking at the people you follow, I bet it's a lower number.
I don't know.
Right.
I will say that I launched this week as I work with other podcasts and stuff. I did launch the podcasterswarehouse.com. So if anyone else is considering starting a podcast and wants some help, reach out to me and let me help you out, whether it's baseball or not.
Baseball, or
I'm pretty good at this thing.
Yeah. Or something the Michael Mara show, or just talking about literacy, whatever. Josh covers it all.
Tomorrow you'll catch me on the Chad Duke show. And
Nice.
I think maybe every Friday moving forward.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. You can write us a review on Apple Podcasts as we still kind of do this thing in the off season. We'd appreciate it. Help spread the word. And you can follow us on X. You can follow me on X at Section 336. And you can follow Josh on X
at Josh Soroka.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go O's and go Ravens.